What is going on, everybody? Today we're looking at the Hasbro G.I. Joe Classified Series Retro Card, Duke, and Scarlet. So these look pretty cool. So we get them on the retro card back, so very much like the 80s designs, but with our modern day classified figures, but they have that retro design as well. So we have Duke, what he looked like more from the 80s, and then the figure representing that as well, with all nice classic gun accessories and everything that's very reminiscent of those old O-ring figures. And so it looks pretty good for Duke there. And then we have Scarlet, which is a good one as well, because we've had Dukes that, look relatively similar, not too dissimilar, but Scarlet's, they've always made her more recently with like more advanced stuff on her, but this gives us our retro design again, and very similar design to that on the side. And then we get retro guns and everything with her, so she looks pretty good. So they still have the more modern design like the boots and stuff, they just have it repainted and colored to match that older design. So we have the pictures there on the back, so you get their file cards on the top there as well, so we have that we can cut out. So I don't think we're getting the Rakondo. I'm not sure if we're gonna get him or not, so we're just gonna do these two for sure, and maybe get him later if we decide to. But overall, these two look really good and nice to have them. I always love these retro figures, so I'm excited to check them out. So let me get both of them out of the packaging and we'll take a look at them together. Then we're going to start off with Duke, whose real name is Conrad Hauser. Now, he's the first sergeant, field commander, and second in command of the G.I. Joe team. And of course, we've had him multiple times before, but looks pretty good like this in the nice classic design. So obviously, he has the classified body, but he overall looks classic, pretty much like his old original figure, and looks nice. So we get his blonde hair all swept over, military style haircut, and the face overall looks good with the blue eyes and everything there. So that's nice. Then we get his body where he's got the cream colored or tan shirt on, which looks cool with, I like the green underneath it as well, like he has another green shirt or just some sort of interior design to the shirt that has the green collar around his neck and stuff, so that's nice. Has some rankings there on his chest, has the US flag on his right arm, and the sleeves are rolled up, so that overall looks nice. And he has the bandolier around his chest as well with a grenade and all sorts of pockets there in that darker green color going around, and then a belt on his waist with some pockets going around, and then some green pants, a little bit lighter green shade compared to the other belt designs. So lighter green pants, of course, has the puck designs and all that on it, with a thigh holster here on his right as well, all the way down to the brown military style boots. And he has a sheath on the left side in that darker green color as well. So overall looks nice just with the colors, nice classic Duke design. But moon-wise, get that'll twist all the way around. Can look down that far and up that far, so not bad with the moons, but not great. The shoulders do come up to 90 with that butterfly joint back and forth and can rotate around. We get the bicep twist and the double elbow joint. Of course, with the pinless joints, give it a little stiff there, but it can bend all the way up there, pretty much all the way up on itself, with the wrist that'll twist around and can hinge back and forth. Then we get the ab crunch, so under your chest, so crunch back and forth and can twist around, and then at the waist can crunch back and forth and twist all the way around. Then we go down to the hips that come up to 90 and out to the side. There it can do the splits, of course, with those drop down hips, got to push back, thigh twist all the way around, and the double knee joint that'll bend up that far to the back, not far from kicking his butt. We get a shin twist at the top of the boot, and the foot will flex back and forth, a little bit stiff with the foot, but it can flex back and forth and twist side to side. So overall decent movements, pretty much has the standard G.I. Joe movements, so nothing wrong with any of that. Now accessory wise, he does come with a number of things, so we get a set of fist hands to go along with his two grip hands he's got. We get a backpack that can go onto his back, so nice all in that tan color once again, with the green shovel that has G.I. Joe on there and more words that I can't read. The canteens on the side, so pretty much the same backpack as before. We can put this into his back though, so there's the backpack now hanging off there, and that strap makes a little more sense. He also comes with a helmet, which again that original figure did as well, so comes with this nice green helmet with a visor that'll come down as well, so we can put this onto his head. So there he's got the helmet again, that little visor just comes down in front of his face, so he's got that, or you can have it up. So I like the helmet. Of course, doesn't look the coolest or anything, but it's nice that it came with that, and especially since the classic figure did as well, so that's nice. He comes with a set of binoculars as well that we can put around his neck, so you just put that there and then get it around his neck, or I guess you could do it around his arm as well, but we'll just leave it on the neck. Then we get some weapons. So first we get a knife, so nice knife design. I love how it's got the gold on the end of it, and then brown handle and silver blade, so that's cool. But we can put this down in the sheath on his leg, so it just slides right down in there. We also get a pistol, so an all black pistol, of course, has a nice more realistic design, a little bit towards the front, starts to look futuristic, but we can put this into the holster here on his right thigh, so it just slides right down in there. And then we get his weapon. So first we get his, what I'd call the main weapon of his M32 submachine gun. So of course we've had this gun before, but all in green design, has the magazine that you can take out there as well. So let's put this into his hand. So there's that gun in Duke's hand, of course, nice classic gun design for him. But then he also comes with this gun as well, a rifle of whatever's for this is. I couldn't figure it out, but looks good. And of course, we've had this before with other G.I. Joe characters, but looks nice with the green in the front and the black for those stocks. So everything looks good there. And we can just stick this into this other hand. So there you just got that other gun there as well. So of course, we just take that out and we'd have classic Duke without it. So overall, looks pretty cool. Nice design there. And of course, with these, we do get the bases as well. So we have the Joe logo, so we know it's for a good guy and we can pop him on it. And as usual, I love having the bases just because it keeps them nice and stable. You can put it on the shelf and not have to worry about him falling or anything. So he looks really good there and looks awesome for that. And of course, we've had the older Duke. So this is just, I think this is the version 2 of the original Duke. So you can just see the difference from the more modern designs they went with on here compared to the nice classic design we have here. So as usual, love the retro design. It's always my favorite. So awesome to have the retro card Duke. And then we also have Scarlett, whose real name is Shanna O'Hara. She's a sergeant of the G.I. Joe team that works in counterintelligence and is highly skilled in martial arts. And overall looks good to have her again in the nice classic design where she has the black, it's like a dark gray, almost black bodysuit from neck all the way down her legs. And then she has this almost what looks like a swimsuit or something over the top with the yellow. So we have the yellow from her crotch all the way up over her shoulders, where she does have some extra padding here on her right shoulder with the red design on there. Little looks like grenade of some sort of like smoke grenade or something there on the left. Then she has some forearm guards as well, so in this yellow color where she has some ninja stars stored on the side of her left arm there. Belt around the waist, so she has a belt and then another belt on top of that with looks like some bullets and then a holder here for her arrows, so that's pretty nice and nice red design on the pocket there. Then the black continues down the legs, which has got some pocket designs and everything. Thigh holster here on the left, or a sheath, I should say. And then the yellow boots that match the rest of her that look pretty nice as well. So just a nice boot design there with the yellow. So it stands out against the black with the yellow, and then the little bit of red stands out like on her outfit. And then, of course, her face, which looks relatively decent. Not the best looking face, I'd say, but the red lipstick and then her red hair that's back in the ponytail there as well looks pretty nice overall. But movement-wise, we get that'll twist around. Now, her hair does have some movement, so you can get it to move as well. So to get around, you can move it there, and she can look down that far and up that far. So not a whole lot of movement in the head, unfortunately. The shoulders do, though, come up to 90, and she has the butterfly joint back and forth, so just a little bit back and forth there, and it can rotate around. We get the bicep twist and the double elbow joint that can bend up there, so almost all the way up on itself, but of course, we'll have designs keeping it from going there. Wrist will twist around and can hinge up and down for this hand. Then we go to her ab crunch, so we get the upper ab crunch back and forth, so just very little crunching and can twist around. And then at the waist, she can crunch very little and twist around. So not the best crunch-wise. The hips can come up to 90 and out to the side. Not all the way to the splits, but not far off, but still has the drop-down hips. You got to push back. Thigh twist all the way around. The double knee joint, that'll bend up that far to the back. Not too bad, not far from kicking her butt. We get a shin twist at the top of the boot, and the foot will flex back and forth and twist side to side. So overall, body-wise, decent movements, but still not the best. Like, she doesn't have the ab crunch, her head doesn't move too much, and some other small limitations, but not bad overall. But of course, we get a number of accessories to go with her, so we get an additional set of fist hands, so to go along with their 2 grip hands, we get a set of fist. We get an extra hair design, so we get this ponytail that we can pull this other one out and pop this one in, so you can choose between the 2, whichever you would prefer. So you can have this one that's got more of a design. Of course, you can twist it around and do whatever. So it just has some more movement there into it. So like I said, you can pick and choose whichever you want. We also get a backpack. So this all backpack, it's kind of like a light green, like a little bit more of a gray color, but backpack, we've seen this design many times before that we can put into her back. And of course, you got to fight that around with her hair. So may have to pick certain things to go with it. So you don't want to mess up the hair piece. And then for weapons, first we get a knife. So we get a knife in that grayish green sort of color there. So it looks relatively decent that we can stick into the sheath here on her left leg. So it just stores down in there. And then she also comes with a pistol in the gray-green color, but she also doesn't have anywhere to store it, so we just pretty much have to put it into her hand. So let's put it in her left hand. So there she's got the pistol. Then she does come with 2 rifles. So we have an M16 and then the other rifle that Duke came with. So these are both in that greenish-gray color as well. Of course, this one has the magazine that comes out on the M16 and stuff, but both look pretty good. Now with these, we can store them on her backpack, so she has the slots here that we can store them on, so we can try and store these around back here. So there are both of those guns stored on her backpack, so she has those there at all times. And finally, we get her signature weapon of the crossbow. So we get this nice crossbow design. Looks like it has an extra little attachment. I don't know if that's a laser sight or whatever, but looks pretty nice. This does also come apart, so you have that option as well. But with this, we can take an arrow. So if I just find one of the arrows, we get multiple of them. We can take and put this in it as well. So the arrow will stick in the top of it like that. So now she's ready to fire that. So let's put this in her other hand. So there's Scarlet with the crossbow now ready to fire that. So that is cool. And with that crossbow, we do get some additional arrows. So we had like just a normal looking arrow in there. We get two other normal looking arrows. They just have like bigger arrow heads on them with different size. So a little bit longer, a little bit fatter. And this one that's more like a grip. So it'll like stick onto something. So that is cool. And then we do have this extra piece here like quiver that we can store the arrows in. And I don't know if they'll all store in, like especially that one with the fatter grip. But again, I don't know how if you just try and stick these down in there and they'll store away. So yeah, the claw grip won't fit in, but maybe you can store it in upside down or something. They'll all store inside of there like that. So that is pretty cool, has that design. I wish it was more on her back, but it is cool that she has those there easily and accessible. And then finally we have the base we can put her on, which will help keep her stable because she does have the female body, so she's thinner and, you know, not as sturdy. And with that backpack and the guns on her back, she keeps wanting to fall backwards. So they're on the base, that'll help keep her standing. So that is always nice to have. And finally, we have our version 2 of Scarlet. So it looks really nice for this newer one, much more classic body, which is always nice with the retro designs. And compared to this one, which isn't bad, it's just I prefer the older designs like this one much more. So awesome to have this version of Scarlet. And there we have our two retro figures of Duke and Scarlet. So once again, having these retro card back figures are really cool. I absolutely love these every time we get them, just because I love the designs. They always seem to have some like the best like body design wise, and of course those classic looks, which makes them really cool. What we love about the Joes. So always really cool to get these, and these two are two new additions to that are no exceptions. That these two are my favorites. So favorite Duke and favorite Scarlet that we've had so far, which is no surprise. So very awesome to get these two retro figures. But let me know what you thought of these two down in the comments, and if you enjoyed my review, let me know with that thumbs up, and don't forget to hit the subscribe button to see more. But I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you all stay awesome out there, and I'll see you in our next review.